Hello.
Hello, everyone. I'm Rokun, and welcome to another edition of Community Spotlight. For tonight's show, your votes chose to have Little Nightmares on the show over Trine. So we're going to have Ecdysis on running for you with Alyssa Mint Chip on commentary. I think I got that.
Yep, it's like
But-
one of two ways.
Okay. Before we get started asking too much about the game, just want to go over a couple quick announcements. Frame Fatale schedule is out. You can go to gamesdonequick.com/Frame Fatale, and it's going to be running the 18th through the 22nd. The Games Done Quick Express schedule is also out, and you can find that linked on the main page of gamesdonequick.com. And Disability Month submissions are open. If you would like to participate in that, you can hit !Disability Month in chat, and there's a form there to fill out. But Little Nightmares, what brought you to speedrunning this game?
Honestly, when the game came out shortly after it went on sale, it looked really cool because I like the whole limbo style, and it reminded me of that. And then I played it, immediately fell in love with it, and started speedrunning it.
What keeps you going on this game? Like, what is about it that just makes you want to keep playing it after having been playing it for a while?
Well, I have a few things. Firstly, it's like one of the only horror platformers that I know of, so it's kind of a really cool blending of genres that is like, oh, hey, I really like this. Second, just kind of competition. For a while, my commentator here, Listen Chip, she was the world record holder, and I kind of wanted to beat her. Like she had the world record like for the entire game's existence. I beat her once, and then had it for 3 days, and immediately lost it.
That's just how that happens sometimes.
So in that sense, a lot of respect.
Yeah, I think honestly the community is just, really supportive and a lot of cool people that even if we're not running it every day, it makes you want to keep coming back to it.
Yeah, I've played games that are like that before. Do you have anything that you would like to cover, like about the game before we get started?
The game is pretty much like Spirited Away, but as a game. It's pretty cool, a lot of symbolism, a lot of like little details that we'll try to point out as we run it, because I know a lot of the times you kind of miss out on the story of a speedrun, but this one's really mostly visual, and regardless, you're still going to be seeing the vision, like the visual stuff, so it's pretty cool. I guess that.
Is it pretty much that?
Yeah, for the most part. And it's just a really cool game to speedrun, and it's really accessible as well, so that's definitely a nice thing about it.
All right, so today's run is going to be a little bit short, so just like to mention before we get started that Hotfix is funded in part thanks to your subscriptions and bits, so we'd appreciate it if you would consider subscribing to support future broadcasts. But with that, I think we're pretty much ready to go, unless you have anything else you'd like to cover.
I should be good. How about you, Alyssa?
I'm ready to get going.
All right, let me make sure my audio is still good. Yeah, it is. All right, sweet. Whenever we're ready to go, we can get ready. Let me just queue up the game, and then let me know when we're good to count down.
All right, I'm good when you are.
Okay, let me just get to the pause menu here, because the game is actually kind of weird on how we started. I guess before we began, I was going to mention that it started off kind of like a weird, like computer glitch that most computers couldn't run the game's intro, so it would keep crashing. So just kind of as a historical point, we use a restart from checkpoint. Anyway, 3, 2, 1, let's go. So anyway, for those of you all watching, this is Little Nightmares. This game is a pretty cool one. Came out a few years ago. I want to say about 2017, 2016?
2017, yes.
Perfect. And there's a lot that goes with it. It's kind of similar to like Limbo Inside, that style of game. And immediately you kind of see like the imagery is going to be rather dark. As a base storyline kind of thing, you're playing as a little girl named Six. She's 10 years old. Was it 9 or 10?
She's 9.
She's 9. All right, well, she's not 6, which is the main idea. Anyway, the major mechanics of the game are going to be starting to kind of be noticed. It's mostly going to be usage of running and jumping. Pretty straightforward for the most part, but we do have a stamina system that we have to kind of pay attention to. The more I run, you'll notice Six will start to swing her arms, which means she's going to be running out of stamina. Now, that's going to make me move slower. My jumps will go less further. Running out a bit earlier, not the end of the world, though. I'm probably going to play it safe on this coming part just because there's a small skip you can do, but I'll go for it once, and if I miss, I'll just pull the chair. I'll see if I get it. My stamina's a bit low. All right. Yeah, I did not get it.
Yeah, I don't even think you can make that jump without like having full stand. So.
Yeah, it's I did the jump a bit too early, but that's okay. Just pull a bit closer. And there's certain thing about the game, there's certain points your stamina will get regenerated, so it's not all that bad. The prison, however, is not going to be too crazy of an area. It serves mostly as a tutorial for the game. You'll kind of get introduced to the normal mechanics. You'll learn don't go into enemies. You'll just move very simply. It's a nice entry into the game, which is nice. In total, Little Nightmares has about 5 levels. They're going to be the prison, the lair, the kitchen, the guest area, and then I want to say it's the ladies' room.
The ladies' quarters, I think.
Quarters,
Yeah.
that's it. I'm like slightly off with all the fun facts. But it's all good. And right now we're doing fine. We're going to be hitting our first stretch of enemies. Every level has different enemies, and the ones in this area are going to be, I know for a fact I got this one right this time, leeches. I always call them slugs because they look like slugs to me, but I learned later on that these are leeches. Anyway, the fun fact about leeches is if they touch you, you die. So
That's
you don't
pretty
want to touch the leeches.
Yeah, that's pretty much the case for every enemy in this. You don't have health, you just either die or you don't.
Correct. I mean, like, some enemies in this game have counterplay, but the leeches are just, if you touch them, you die. But I guess you shouldn't be touching them in the first place. Oh, I missed that. I don't know how I got the hard fall. Anyway, that gnome just vanishes. If I didn't get the hard fall, we probably would have seen that, but that's all going all well. Those little guys, by the way, the little triangle heads, they're called gnomes. They're absolutely adorable. There's actually a speedrun category where you have to hug every single one of them in the game. And it's adorable.
That's an amazing category. I love it.
It is really good. No, more people need to do that category.
I think there's like 15 or 16 of them. And we just
I want to say, I think 14?
14, something like that. But yeah, we go through and make a point of giving all of them hugs and helping them get to the end of the game safely.
They all deserve it.
They do, except one of them. But
he deserves even more. But we'll learn more about that later. Anyway, we're now going to be hitting some bit more fun areas. The early game is more about kind of teaching you base mechanics of the game, which the next mechanic's going to be electricity. There's going to be rooms with electricity, and you need to make sure you don't get electrocuted. So you have to turn off the switches in order to progress forward. You could use the lighter to run through them, but it's not going to like immediately help you. It's more just a vision thing and flare. They're not required, so to speak. It doesn't make you slower. It doesn't make you faster. I like the way she runs with the lighter.
Real quick,
go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm just saying. When I would run this game, I'd wear the little raincoat for good luck.
Yes. I remember you were doing your world record push, and you had the raincoat on and on your stream like every day.
Yep. Right now we're entering the next enemy, which is going to be the Medusa's Eye. I think it has an actual name, but the whole mechanic is that if it sees you, it'll start to turn you into stone, and if you're in it too long, you will die. Which is not going to be a good thing. It can get rather annoying on the second time we have to deal with it, but the first one's mostly just patterns. Right now, we're actually going to be hitting one of the more fun parts of the game. We're getting introduced to the first major enemy of the game. There's going to be a lot of denizens of the Maw. That's the name of the boat we're in. And that guy's the janitor. He has really long arms, and he's also blind. That's why we're able to run straight through here. He won't notice us until the next chapter in the lair. We'll see more of him later, so we can just say goodbye to him now. Right now, though, we will be entering the first major speed tech of the game, and this is going to be the hunger skips. So it might look a little bit weird going into it at first, but this trick is going to save, if I get all of them, I want to say about 1 minute, 20 seconds.
Yeah, if you get every single one of them, it's something like 1:20. I did the math a while ago, but
All right, we got one.
Yeah, that was nice.
Ooh.
Oh, that was pretty good.
That second one was really fancy. Anyway, you can kind of see the hunger pain on the third one. You don't have to skip that one because you have to wait for the person to throw you bread anyway. But I skipped both instances of hunger there, and that was very nice. I was kind of nervous in the second one, but we got both of them. In total, skipping all of them saves about 1:14, 20 or so. Also, every time you eat, you can see a shadow 6. So this should be on right about up there on the top right.
Yep, there she is sitting on top of the cage.
Yep. And every chapter will have 6 eating some kind of food.
Yeah,
It's
hunger and loneliness is like a progressing theme of the game
the real Little Nightmare was hunger.
all the time.
Yeah, this section is
Hunger we have
actually
every day.
some more routing where the game went to. This section used to be a lot slower in my opinion, but it got really good.
Yeah,
So it
this
does
is
start
one
on
of
like a
the
climb.
big speed like things that we do aside from the hunger skips. And this is actually like discovered within the last like 2 months or something.
Yeah, this one's really recent, and I've been practicing this one because this is by far one of the coolest skips that we found in this game. It's going to prevent a death abuse. It's also going to prevent just a lot of running back, and it will save a lot of time in comparison. As well, we get to kind of mess with the mechanics a little bit here. There's weird optimal ways you could be doing things, which I think is one of my favorite parts about this game. Another thing to mention as well is you can notice that things like that box are rocking back and forth. The rocking in this game is because we're on a boat, and boats normally, when they're on water, sway back and forth. So that instance of gravity will actually affect us. In addition to rocking, I'm going to push it right and immediately left, because then that will let me just ride the box to its full potential. Oh, there we go. I almost missed that one.
This chain is really weird because when you're going up it the first time, you can only grab it from the front, but then once you move the box, you can only grab it from the back. And for some reason, they just made the hitboxes like that, and it trips people up quite a bit.
Very happy with those file cabinets. And now the power is off. So that's going to keep the electricity off, which is barring a door. I stopped over to keyboard because I'm going to do a glitch by bouncing onto this wall. We drop down, and then I hop, and then I just go back down. And I'm going to backtrack all the way across. There's the camera swap. I like having the light for this personally because I am blind. I need glasses. I don't wear them because I don't like wearing them, but I cannot see. But we just skipped the entire backtracking that we'd have to do. But let's hope I don't die, because this section always trips me up because the eye cycles. This is the Medusa's eye that I mentioned earlier. Oh my god. I'm resetting that. I mentioned it would give me a problem. I mentioned it right when it happened. The eye
So
cycles.
a lot of, like we said, this trick is pretty new, and a lot of us have spent the last like year and a half memorizing where the eye is going to be when we get there, and it totally threw everybody off, and now we have to learn entirely new cycles.
Luckily, this one I've been practicing a little bit and I can play it safe. There we go. And that is the prison. We're still making pretty good time, though, all in all. Even with the minor mess-ups, it's nothing too crazy. Restarting from checkpoint's a great thing. If I waited for the eye to just turn me into stone, that would not be good. But that is the prison, which is honestly not that bad of a prison. I got all the hunger skips. I had to restart from checkpoint once. But all in all, that was... yeah, looking at it, about like an 850 prison, which not too bad.
Honestly, still faster than like my prison because I still haven't done the new backtracking method. So
oh, it's so much fun. Okay, guys, now we're finally entering where Little Nightmares fully kind of integrates you as a speedrunner. The prison's the tutorial level. The lair immediately throws you into the world of Little Nightmare speedrunning and just kind of makes you deal with everything. First off, these stairs can kill you if you don't go up them the right angle. I've died many times just by walking off the stairs. This game kind of just hard throws you into an area you wouldn't expect, and it's pretty cool. As well, we're going to be gearing up for the sink skip right now, so Alyssa, if you want to explain that one.
So the game is actually like 3D, despite the fact that we only move from the left to the right. So we discovered that you can kind of glitch out this jump off that sink to get up here and grab this key without having to knock down the bed that is connected to the lever on the right there and climb and everything. And this saves probably about a minute and a half of just watching various animations in the environment. It was one of the very first things we figured out you could do easily within the like first 2 days of the game being out.
By the way, I want to add, first try, that's a lot harder than it looks because you have to like exactly know when to jump off the sink.
There's like this glitched collision on the edge of the sink where if you jump too soon, you don't get like a slight height boost. But if you walk right up to like the last pixel of the sink, it boosts you up like an extra like 1/10 of a character model, and it lets you make the jump.
Okay. At this point, we're going to be hitting the next series of hunger skips. These are by far the easiest in the game, in my opinion, and the ones you should learn on if you've ever wanted to learn how to speedrun this game. I stop over to keyboard, I hold down A, and I mash D, and it'll force a trip. Forcing that trip is how I do all of them, and there are certain points in this hallway that hunger happens. So, for example, you'll see me run to an area, start to trip, and then force it, and then you'll hear the music swap. That music swapping indicates that I went through the hunger pain. So far, I've landed every single hunger skip in the game. I want to see if I can get all of them.
Good luck.
I am currently 5 out of 5. That was pretty hype right there.
Yeah,
Nice.
That was pretty good. Yeah, so getting all 3 of the skips in this one hallway saves about 30 seconds just by itself, because the hunger pains are for some reason here really long, like longer than the ones in the rest of the game.
And the whole reason you save time, I mentioned earlier, 6 won't go through these hunger pains. Also, unfortunately, I don't remember the Shadow 6s in this room, but I know there is one. But we do have our friend, the janitor. As well, going with the hunger skip again, just kind of briefly touching on that. The whole reason it saves time is that hunger pain animation. Also, let's pray I don't get soft locked right now, because the janitor could bully me. If this happens, I swear. I swear to God.
Please no bully.
Okay, we're good.
Okay.
Good.
So it's possible that the janitor, when he twists the little cage, knocks over the cage that little boy is in, and we can't get out of the room because we have no way of standing it back up.
It's like a 1 in 1,000 chance. I've never had it happen to me, but I've seen it happen to a total of 2 runners, and it's heartbreaking.
Yeah, I've done like over 1,000 runs of this game. It's never happened to me, but I've seen it happen, I think, 3 times to other people.
And right now we're officially in the lair, and we're gonna have our friend the janitor, who honestly is probably one of my favorite enemies to deal with. This game has a lot of cool enemies. The janitor is by and far one of the coolest. Did I trip on the knockdown? That was weird. Anyway, going into the janitor and the way he's going to work, I mentioned earlier he has really long arms and he's blind. However, he has another superpower, which is equivalently super speed. In theory, everyone in this game is going to have super speed because you're tiny and they're big. So what I need to use is sneaking skills. So I'm going to run right past him and hope to God he doesn't notice me. I'm going to run into the room here, and then I'm going to activate the little trapdoor here. And what that's going to do is allow me to escape the janitor. However, if I don't run on the carpet, he'll immediately notice me and try to beeline to my location.
So a large part of like saving time throughout this entire game is just ignoring the fact that this is supposed to be a horror stealth platformer and just making it a horror platformer, because being stealthy is way too slow.
Correct. So there's going to be a big fear about a lot of these enemies. We can juke them a little bit, but we will have to... Right now we're hitting the next monster who has... I'm still just so surprised that this monster even exists. It's a room full of shoes that the janitors collected, and a shoe monster exists, which is like the water monster in Amnesia, which you just kind of make sure you don't stay in the shoes for too long.
Yeah, we never see the shoe monster again, and there's no explanation anywhere else for why the shoe monster is here. I think they were just like, hey, what if there was something in the shoes? Wouldn't that be creepy?
But the weird part is, like, they made a water monster later on that has the same exact mechanic.
Yeah, they did it in the DLC.
Anyway, we're now around the murder hallway. Oh my god, the janitor's gonna catch up to me, guys. I better hide. What's going to happen? I know. I'll hide in plain sight.
As long as you're moving in the hallway.
But the janitor is, remember, blind.
Yeah, as long as you're moving in that hallway, it's actually impossible for him to catch you. Like, I've glitched, like, carryable objects in there that make it to where you basically tiptoe down the hallway and he still doesn't catch up with me.
Guys, do you think the janitor's gonna find me? I'm not sure if he will. I mean, he's looking hard, but I think he's warm. Warm? Warmer? I think he found me.
Oh, no, it's just another strange pointy head object.
Well, he tried his best. The janitor will never get you there, and that always makes me laugh. It's supposed to be like a scary, tense moment where he almost finds you because they're expecting you to hide in the shoebox, but you can just not do that. This next section's weirdly enough the one I see most people starting this run have trouble with. You just kind of go up the ladder, and then you jump a couple times. Remember, the janitor is very quickly, but running on carpet means you won't be exposed to the janitor's ears, meaning you're safe. And if you're slow here, you can die, but he usually won't be a problem. The next one will have another janitor problem, which is the strangest one, which we need to talk about: magic shoes.
The shoes in the next room like to teleport. They fall and then, you know, suddenly are 5 feet away from where they fell, and you die a lot.
So we'll see the janitor running away. He'll be up top, and he's going to raid us down with some shoes. I want to go for the shoe on the most direct path. However, I've gotten glitches where they'll just phase through the floor, and I don't know why. That can actually get you killed. Oh my god, it happened. It happened. I went for a safe shoe. It almost phased through the guy. I knew it. I knew it.
Sometimes it'll land right in front of you and you can just pick it up, and other times it'll land in front of you and then bounce into the janitor's model, but since you already started picking it up, she'll just walk into him and die.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate.
Also, for Flare, I want to do one thing, because I know I'm pretty on time right now. I want to show off to you guys what hugging a gnome looks like.
Yeah.
You give him a nice little hug, and it's adorable. And it plays nice, cute music.
Zooms in on him. You kind of grab him by the neck and like rock him back and forth.
It's a very cute hug. Also, that weirdly enough gave me a good cycle in this piano, so I can't complain.
That's true.
Like I mentioned earlier, since we are on a boat, cycles will matter. I'm pretty sure I was on a bad cycle earlier, so that actually helped my cycle out. That wasn't intentional. It just sort of worked out that way. It's a bit of RNG on the piano. Right now, though, the janitor's coming back, and I'll be trying to do the trick here. If I die, it's not much time lost, but let's hope I can get it. Oh, I got it. Oh, God, wait, hold on. I bumped into a wall. We're safe, though. We're safe.
Another
So
example of
the
just
janitor,
ignoring
and then
the
that
stealth.
ignores the entire part.
Yeah.
That was risky, though. I'll
If
say
you do it, I was just saying that was another example of just ignoring the stealth mechanics of the game. If you do it right, he won't even actually grab for you because you'll land in a spot on the carpet that just cancels all your noise and he just doesn't even notice you're there.
Alright, there we go. In terms of a story event, in order to open the door for this room, you need to turn on the TV with a weird meat show. There's just a lady with a cleaver on there and singing. The janitor comes in, and I'm gonna take it a bit riskier because I want to get the janitor glitch. It's really cool. He's chasing me. I want him to keep chasing me because there's an awesome glitch that can happen. But I really hope he can do it. We'll see if he cooperates. If it doesn't happen, it's not the end of the world. It's just kind of a weird way the janitor is programmed. So let's see if he comes by. Oh, he didn't come by. So when you start spinning this, the janitor immediately spawns back into that room. So if he's like right next to you, he'll just straight up ignore you and teleport back to the room. Okay, barely. That was a very close piano jump.
Yeah, that jump was suspect.
I went for it. It worked. But I'm happy that worked. That was pretty good. Pretty good, I might say. Right now is a big example of, again, the gravity on the boat. It's currently rocking against my direction, so I have to keep pushing it, which is unfortunate. But we will be hitting a quote-unquote boss fight. A few of the characters in this game do have mini boss sections that you deal with them. There are a couple. First one's actually the janitor, and the janitor boss fight I will absolutely geek out about because it is by far one of the coolest tricks in the entire game. I also teach all of you how to run it if you want to learn how to do it. It's a pretty solid one, and it's just kind of a cool area of speedrunning that a lot of people wouldn't really think, oh, that works that way.
Yeah, it's actually pretty neat. I don't remember who exactly figured out that you could even do this. Was it you or was it might have been Crowbar?
It may have been Crowbar. I got into the game and this was already a thing.
Okay, so this was a pretty early on thing that we figured out, but you can just, if you time a jump that he's going to do here just right with a certain audio cue, you can essentially like remove your hitbox for the janitor in this area, which lets you just cheese the heck out of this boss fight.
So we got it there with the audio cue. I run into the room, I pull off one of the bars, and then I just start immediately spamming grab the other one, and now the janitor's immediately dead. There is zero boss fight, and his arms are now gone. So the janitor is now only blind, he no longer has really long arms, and we'll be going onto the kitchen. That makes the boss fight really easy. Alternatively, for that boss fight, you would have to spend forever in there avoiding the arms. Single-handedly touching the arms gets you killed.
But as long as you've pulled that first bar before the janitor gets to a certain point, for some reason the game just forgets that you exist, and you can just touch him all you want and pull the last bar and kill him.
It's a long boss fight. Anyway, now we're going to be in the kitchen. And guys, let's see if I can win the race against this hook. I think I can make it. I think I can make it. Let's see. The hook's actually not programmed. You can never grab it.
Honestly, like, I'm prepared to offer money to somebody who figures out how to grab that hook, because it's been taunting me since the day the game came out.
Yeah, I don't know why that hook even shows up. You can't actually grab it. I've heard cases where you might be able to, but we have to wait anyway. As well, you can see a looming figure in the distance, and we'll be hitting the next round of hunger skips. I'm currently 5 for 5, so let's hope I don't choke on the next two.
I think anybody who says that they've grabbed that hook has actually just had a really long loading frame at the beginning, and it's the second hook and not the first.
6 for 6. Oh my god, dude, these hunger skips.
This is legendary.
Oh, I missed one.
Rip.
Yeah, this one's really hard because the hitbox on the hunger skips is incredibly generous for them, not you. And in this section, I do need to be careful because we're not going to be skipping the hunger. Oh, I got the bad rat. That was a really bad jump.
Yeah, that's... So, like, depending on how far you wait to jump the last time, you can actually jump to where you're standing right next to the rat, which saves a lot of time of walking up to it. This section is definitely, like he said, the hardest one to do the hunger skips in, because in all the other areas, there's pretty clear like floor markings that you can kind of look for to do it. But with this one, the puddle on the floor where the second skip is not very generous.
I want to point out, oh, that was weird glitch. I want to point out, by the way, as well, we had Delicious Rat, and there was a Shadow 6 on the right side of that area. Right now, we're going to officially get introduced to the chef. Oh, I got the hard fall. That's fine. The chefs are going to be rather tough. We're going to have a big boy here, and he's going to be a lot faster than you would think. I think I'll play it a little bit safer. I'm still going to go for a risky strat, but I just want to make sure I can maintain my stamina, because I am always worried about that. My big problem lately has been running out of stamina on this section. So I'm going to go for the fast strat. Let's see if I can get it.
I really do like the kitchen, because I feel like of all the sections in the game, it's the one that has the most like obvious skips and obvious tricks to it, because a lot of the first two sections, like if you were just watching a speedrun and didn't have anybody telling you that something was a skip and you hadn't played the game yet, you wouldn't know.
We are killing it, and rafters. Let's see.
There you go.
If I die on the rafters, that's gonna be hilarious. Wait a minute. I got perfect rafters. I've been messing these up like literally the entire time I've got back into playing this game. But that was actually a perfect kitchen. The whole idea why is while running, I do distract the chef and I want his hand under the table. So by getting that, I buy enough time for myself, which then I can then run across the rafters. A lot of people take the back route because it's safer, but safety doesn't look very cool now, does it?
It's also
right now, we'll be grabbing a key, because that key will give us to the other side of the kitchen there. There's a locked door I need to progress, and you'll notice the world's fastest chef. He has managed to come upstairs and fall asleep, and by the time we took us to get up here. We also have a framed picture of a toilet in the corner. Oh, I got the ball. I need to play it safe. Sometimes you can accidentally grab the ball, and you don't get the key, and then you can't beeline it past the chef here. Also, he has a framed picture of himself as the duality of man.
Sometimes you can actually get really unlucky and he'll see you hiding under the bed, so like the backup strat also doesn't work and you have to just reset.
But yeah, we got there. In the dark, if you grab the ball, you lose the entire, like, you have to, like, play it safe. So now this section is going to have a cool little, it's like a skip. It's more manipulation than a skip. There's a few methods of doing this. My method's always been going around the back. But what I'm going to do is run through here. The chef is going to come into the room. He's already back downstairs, by the way, an absolute champ. I'm going to start running in this room right behind him. He's going to get startled while looking at his meats. But while he's startled, he's going to go back to looking at his meats because they're really impressive. He may have thought the meats on that shelf may have been moving, but it was actually me the entire time. Little did he know.
We fooled him.
I absolutely fooled him. In the next part, by the way, we're going to be doing some ham manipulation.
You actually do have to step on like a very specific part of the tile to make him not turn around, because if you just have him hear you and you're not standing in that spot, he'll turn around and start chasing you. So it's actually like you're not just walking through that room. There's actually a trick going on there.
And now it is time to see if I'm the master of meat. The first one, you can actually manipulate the ham. This is ham manipulation. I'm going to drag it across the corner of this little thing, and it'll roll onto the platform. The next one, however, is a bit tougher. I need to swing on the hook to build enough momentum to swing the ham forward. So let's see if I get it. Oh, I always get the flat fall, but that's okay. It's not bad RNG. But I got 1 out of 2 hams. Not too shabby, but... Oh, there we go. The ham moved out of the way. Thank you, ham.
It is true that this is probably one of the few speedruns you could do if you really wanted a game where you just sat there and manipulated ham all day.
I missed a jump that saves out half a second, but now I need to teach you guys about what you do with hams. So by putting them down, we make sausages. You need exactly 2.5 sausages. Any more, and you've lost time. Any less, and you won't make the jump. I always use a key indicator that once your little feet are like dangling forward, that's when it's your time to jump. A lot of people won't be aware of that. So if you pay attention to little feet, they'll move forward, and then you're good to go. This next section will either be really cool or really sad, depending on how well I'm playing. And just to kind of preface it, I'm going to be going back to the chef. He's going to be coming down the elevator, and I need to juke him. I need to juke him in the room, and then I need to steal his key for this door right here. After that, I'm going to have to do a fancy jump in order to open the door or open a chute that puts me in the trash.
Yeah,
All right, so first things first, I bait the chef into grabbing me. I duck his legs. I break his ankles, or I should say cankles. But the chef is not an intelligent man, as you can see. He tried his best. He missed me. He also makes those squeals. The best thing about this game and enemies is the audio cues. Whenever you listen to the enemies, they're going to grab you. So just the little, like... What's that sound? Is it like a re? Is it like an E?
Yeah, it's like R-E-E-E.
Yeah, like whatever the chef sounds makes, when they're about to do that, you slide. And then you normally... juke them. You also get an achievement that way, fun fact. Right now, I'm going to do a strat that Helion found, and then I modified. So I'm going to juke the chef. He's going to chase me. I'm going to hop onto his table back here. Messing with his AI by hopping on that bench, I get him around here, and then he'll try grabbing me. He has the slowest reflexes that man has ever had, so I was able to steal the key while he tried to reach me on the table. I guess he thought that I was on the table. And this is why the chefs don't speedrun and I do. Anyway, from this point, I'm going to use the key here, and I'm going to go twice for the jump. If I don't get the jump, though, this is going to be sad. I got it in practice. Let's see. I need to jump on this flour sack, and then... Oh, slightly too small. One more try. Come on. Oh, I'm just going to go for the safe strat. It's impressive you can get it, because you can just open the door. Oh! Where am I? Where am I?
I think you're stuck in the bottom corner.
That's fine for me. Okay. He's going away.
As long as he doesn't see you.
Time for the marathon. This is never... Oh my... How did he not see me?
Wow, that's sad.
Where are you?
Time for the marathon?
Oh,
that has never
there,
happened before? I can see myself. Okay, that worked out. I couldn't show the cool one at the door, but I will be able to show the big skip that is for this room. The door only skips this small area downstairs. It's not the massive skip, but I got incredibly lucky that he didn't see me. By the way, if you're wondering, there's actually 2 chefs the entire time. He's really not that quick. He's not the Flash. He doesn't have 2 pictures of himself. That is his brother.
This upcoming skip was discovered by a casual player, and then they joined our Discord specifically to tell us that they had found it.
So this is called the tap skip. The way it's going to work is there's going to be a hook right when it rises. I grab on, and then I face to the wall. So these hooks are on a rotational system, first try, by the way, and it's going to carry me to the other side where you get to the side after you solve the puzzle. But by doing that, you skip the entire room, and then you begin the chase. And you manage to skip that entire room, which is really impressive. The chef's going to try to chase me, but I have a massive head start. We want to grab the hooks, and now... All right, I almost missed it. Don't throw a wine bottle at me, chef. That's like me on a Saturday night. You tried. From here on out, we have the kitchen, and we're almost done. I swear, if I fall down, I'm going to scream.
Honestly, like that last minute and a half of the kitchen
Yeah.
used to be like a 10-15 minute section, and we've just sequence broke the heck out of that area and ignore every intended mechanic. It's so fun.
As well, I was going to say right now, this is like one of the few parts in this game I will be playing on keyboard exclusively. I hate this section. The game has a hard way of running. One of the major complaints about this game was the running. Moving in a straight line is not really feasible. The game is a lot better on controller, but the problem is you're moving like on a controller, which will be going bobbing and weaving. Like, it is not easy to move in a straight line. If you're on keyboard, however, that's not a problem. But when you're running in perfectly straight lines and if you fall off, you die, it's bad.
People also love to fall off right here just because some great, visual design blinds you as you walk through that doorway.
And now for the actual non-sarcastic visual design. After that light sequence, it is really beautiful. You get to see a boat here, some people in the background, the big maw. This is the end of the kitchen. It'll be entering the 4th level, which that level is arguably one of my favorites to play. Just because in a casual setting and in a speedrun setting, it's the equivalent of that level where it's all your skills that you have learned throughout the game come together for one hard section. Another cool thing about the maw here is that you kind of get to see how small 6 is. And Little Nightmares is kind of that thing of it can mean many things. It's the Little Nightmares 6 to go through. It has many things on it, and we'll see more of that as we go. That being said, we can see more of the passengers down below. And like I mentioned in the beginning of this run, there's a lot of Spirited Away vibes. They're really going to come into action in the guest area.
I feel like this upcoming area also is the zone that has had the most development as far as the speedrun is concerned within the last month or two.
It has, I think, 2 tricks that were found are really cool.
Yeah.
Although the thing about them though is they're tricks that you try once, but if you don't get it, don't go for it.
No, yeah, we're still at the point where they're pretty hard and unreliable. And I think the early lady can't even be tried a second time, so.
Yeah. Also, earlier, this is the level I've been using for sound test with Railcone, so I just want to give him a quick shout out. Very helpful with all this. I just got reminded because I played this level like several times. There's also one skip here that I'm worried about, and both of them are hearing me talk about this in practice, and I'm like, I don't want to die here. This would be embarrassing. Anyway, going into the actual guest area now. It's a giant buffet. There's pies, there's meats, there's fish. The meat is not what it seems. It's people. But don't worry, this guy's not going to eat you. He's chill. He's just sitting there eating his meat. And this guy, however, is craving, and he wants actual meat. So, the meat on the table is not enough. People here are starting to hunger from you. It probably means gluttony to some extent. Either way, we don't care about him in his, I don't know, symbolism. We're going to ignore him while he tries to get through that doorway. Right now, by the way, I'm going to do an incredibly minor skip. I call it a skip just because it's funny that way. I'm going to do a single swing and use her hand to slide me over. Normally, you're supposed to die if she touches your hand, but it doesn't work. And now we're hitting the sausage skip. This is actually found by distortion, believe it or not. I'm not going to go for it anymore because you go for it once, and if you make it, it's awesome. If you don't have stamina, and it's hard. But you can use that sausage to bypass this entire table section. One, it's like, I think about 10, 12 seconds of time save. 2, this is one of the deadliest areas in the game, believe it or not. I am weaving in and out of the dimensions of the table, because if you get too close to either side, you'll immediately get grabbed and consumed. Like, at least in the other areas of the game, the janitor turns you into shoes, the chefs will put you in a fish. These guys will just straight up eat you like they're eating kebab. Like, it's crazy. I don't know why I said kebab. I think chips would be more accurate, but I mean, I stand by what I said, I suppose. There's also a cool glitch that can happen with objects, so I'm reminded with the wine bottle there, where you can just zip forward. There's no consistent way of doing it, unfortunately, but that can happen. And right now we're hitting the toughest skip in the game, and Alyssa will laugh at me if I miss this. This is called the Ethan skip. To describe it, what's going to happen is our boy Ethan's going to be coming up to try to eat me. I want to slide through his fat folds and make it on the other side. The way to do so is by gliding on the table at the exact right angle. All right, good thing I practiced that. I did the Ethan skip, slid through his fat folds, and now we're on the other side. We're little, Ethan is too big, so we can avoid him. And right now, don't think you're safe just because you dodged Ethan. The chef is coming back. There's actually 3 chefs. No, this is one of the chefs from earlier. He finally came up to the guest area to, I guess, refuel the meats. You want to make good careful not to touch any of the enemies in the game, by the way, because even if you touch them, you'll end up like getting teleported into their hand, which is really cool.
Right there, we just actually skipped about a 2-minute segment where you have to run from the chef back down that hallway and hide in the bathroom from him for forever. So it was actually a really big deal when we realized that you could juke past the chefs, because it was a huge time save right there.
Right now, I call this the march of the guests. Also, the random ham, I think, can actually hit me. I've never had it happen before. I'm waiting for the day I get took out by a rabid ham. Anyway, the whole thing here is you run away from them while they're trying to eat your flesh, and that's not good. We're small, they're big. I don't think we taste very good, but all of them want to eat us, and it's supposed to be terrifying. Oh no, guys, are we going to make it? I don't know.
One particular guest is very enthusiastic.
And then he just, goodbye, guest. They fall. Also, now we're on more hunger skips, because we're getting hungry once again. Let's see if I make it. Oh, too early. That's fine. Really, of all the ones I missed, it's that one. I hit the one in the kitchen, but I couldn't hit that one.
You need
All
more
right,
practice.
and I hit the second one, so that's good. I'm gonna go for the third one because it's flare. But guys, actually, for getting this far in the game, you actually get rewarded. So I mentioned earlier parts of the game. There's various hunger sections. This time, the gnomes, after all your hard work, give you sausage. Nice, tasty gnome sausage.
They're very generous with themselves. Press F
I
to
don't
pay
think we're getting that
respects.
sausage.
I'm assuming that's the one you don't get to hug.
You don't get to hug him, no. Well,
We
actually,
give
you
him
get
a
to hug
very
him. It's just
intense
very
mouth
different
hug.
in his hug. He has a very different hug. A lot more teeth involved. Anyway, I missed the lady skip, so this is fine, but we're entering the last level of the game, which will be the ladies' quarters. By the way, Gnome Percent requires you to give him the big toothy hug. You hug all the other ones, but then the last one you hug. His hug is a bit more gruesome.
It's
And by the way,
possible
if you
to
DLC,
skip
that section gets
the.
even sadder.
Yeah, yes. Play the DLC. The lore for this game is actually very entertaining.
And I want you to, while we're going up to the lady, because this is the last level of the game, pay close attention. Every chapter has a hunger section, and as you've been going through the game, it's been getting darker and darker in what we've been eating. We've had bread, we've had raw meat, we've had a rat, and now we eat a gnome instead of sausage meat. Now, in fairness, that sausage meat's actually human, and Six, I guess, is aware of this because I don't remember why she's aware of this, but she is aware of it canonically.
Well, she's
So-
been running through and seeing it manufactured throughout the
Yeah.
course of the game.
Yeah, I think some of that is probably in where you skipped.
Yeah. As well as the lady, she's the most deadly enemy in the game. Make a single drop of noise or exist too much around her, and you die. And there's no answer to fighting her. The chefs you can skip, the janitor you can outrun. She'll just immediately levitate you, and you're considered dead at that point in time. But now we get to steal her thing, her key, her precious, precious key, and now we can continue running. A fun part about that as well is if you turn on the lighter behind the lady, she'll instantly find you. She's that accurate in hearing. Like, you can't do anything in regards to the lady.
I'm just going to toss out that there is a secondary bounty for anyone who can figure out how to open the door we're about to open without getting this key.
Also,
that's been haunting me for a long time as well.
Quick shout out to the devs. They've confirmed this. The lady is not Six's mother. She's just an overbearing, mother-esque figure in her life, but not her mother.
It's actually interesting here too because there are no other locked doors that you can actually get to the handle for. So we thought maybe the lock is just, cosmetic and, triggering the key opens the door for you. But you can actually glitch some chairs up here and get to that door handle, and the door does not open. So the locks are real, and I hate them.
So at this point in the game, we're entering the final fight. It's a pretty chill room. Stamina is going to be at an even 20%. We haven't really ran out of stamina. You'll hear Six wheezing if that happens. But in this section, we'll be hitting the final fight, and it's going to have a few things going on with that. As well, if I can, I'd like to show off some of the lore sections afterward to kind of give more of a feeling about what's going to happen. But the fight's going to be utilizing this mirror, and it's going to mostly be an auto-scroller. That being said, the whole idea for the fight, there is actually optimizations you can do that are incredibly minor. One, you want to run into the light as soon as possible. The more you run into that, the sooner it'll start. As well, I'm going to be positioning myself more towards the center of each area, because I want to get knocked into the next part. The first two are actually somewhat random on where they'll go, which means if you're facing one way, she'll come from behind you. So it's always that set motion, but if you're not facing any way, that'll happen to you. And it doesn't matter what happened, where you're facing, she'll always be on the opposite side. You want to hit it with the mirror enough times. If you're not careful, you will actually end up dying, and you'll have to do the entire fight over again. We'll have a few more hits left in this run. Specifically, they're going to be on the bottom left, the bottom right, the top left, and the top middle. I already know what this one's going to be, and this time she's going to get a bit craftier. Instead of just coming right behind you, she'll start circling around you to scare you. To save a little bit of time, you can walk closer to where she's going to spawn, but keep in mind that does bode the risk that she might try to grab you in that case. The next three will all be scripted, and time is coming up. It will happen when the mirror breaks, which will happen on the third hit coming up. I do love the music, the entire aesthetic of this room. It is just really cool.
Yeah, the first time you go through this fight, casually. Like the entire build up to this is really, really amazing, and the developers did a wonderful job with the atmosphere.
1, 2 more.
I don't know. I think you're gonna miss it.
2, and then the next one will be time.
When the mirror shatters.
And time. And that was Little Nightmares. But before we finish up with this, there is something we have to do. I mentioned that every section has a hunger section, and 6 is a little bit hungry.
Oh no. I see where this is going.
You can hear her stomach going. You still have to go. This part doesn't count in the game because it's mostly holding forward, but to celebrate any run we ever do in this game in any marathon setting, we always want to give the lady a nice big hug. A nice toothy hug. From me to her. Fully becoming the Little Nightmare, the title of the game.
The real Little Nightmare was us all along.
The real Little Nightmare was the friends we made along the way. And now the shadows are fully forming in us. We'll kind of see the results of that. But as a quick thing while we're walking through this and kind of going through a little bit of the lore, I do want to say I'm McDices. I do a lot of horror adjacent game speedruns. I'm a very big nerd when it comes to horror games. I run about 58 of them currently. I'm a very big fan of them. So if you're into spooky stuff, come check me out. And as well, Alyssa.
I'm Alyssa Mintchip. I run this game and a couple others sometimes. Yeah, check me out in the Little Nightmares community Discord, and hope to see you guys playing the game with us.
We're very supportive of many people, and there's a lot of resources to learn the game. As well, walking this hallway, we'll kind of see the full results of eating the lady. It's going to get rather cryptic, but don't worry, we'll be able to escape them all finally. But it's a lot darker than you think. By the way, a 40:51 marathon time, that ain't bad. With real time, my PB is about a 39:30. So it's not too shabby.
Honestly, the game's come so far that, like, not even, like, 8 months ago, 41:50 probably would have been a world record. So, like, real kudos to the community because we've spent a lot of time developing this game lately. Particularly shout outs to Parhelion, who's been putting so much effort into this game since it released, and Nico, who's kind of a newer member, but he's used a lot of cool camera and game development tricks to find out some stuff that none of us had any idea was even possible. Maybe you guys will discover how to get past that door.
And with all the fat guys dead, you can kind of see the depths that 6 has gone through. I'll hit the credits, and then that will be Little Nightmares, just so we can hit it, because there's the little door, the end of the maw, and we should be good on that part. I do want to thank you all again for watching us. Little Nightmare, I'm very happy to show off Little Nightmares. We've been grinding it for a while, and I'm happy to finally able to kind of get to that area. And then I don't remember when the credits show up for the game. I'm trying to hit the... Oh, it's on back now. Perfect. If I alt-tab, the music stops, so I want to wait, because I want to check a few things out. But I do want to say thank you for having us.
Well, thanks for being on. And of course, thanks to Alyssa for coming to help with commentary. That was a nice little speed run. Totally not creepy at all. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Do you guys have any extra shout-outs you want to go through, or did you cover them all pretty much there?
Just really the Little Nightmares community for the most part. Definitely Parhelion. I have his Twitch on hand, but let me see if I can find it. Just because he really did put a lot of work in this game. I mentioned that I ended up losing world record like 3 days after I got it. That happened because of Parhelion. And he's just a really great runner who was also kind of pushing me in that same time that the game was really getting grinded down. Let me find his... I think he just did YouTube. Melissa, do you have it on hand or no?
I don't have his YouTube. Parhelion's the kind of runner, though. He's got like the world record in Limbo, and inside, and he's the guy that's been going through the game, helping us save, like a second here, 2 seconds here. He loves, just finding all the ways to optimize the game, and he has been huge in the community. Also to Tabs, because she discovered the hook warp that we did in the kitchen, and Anurin, who probably isn't watching, but is essentially the founding father of this game. He started the speedrun.com page for the game like 2 weeks before it came out. And without his effort, the community wouldn't be what it is right now. Igdisis, Crowbar, Krolak for moving the game onto the console and really influencing what was possible on that. And really just everybody who's been active in the community lately. We've had a bit of a resurgence, and I'm really happy about it.
Yeah, and it's been pretty great. Also, I was going to say thanks, Muffins, for linking Par's YouTube. I wasn't too sure on the rules of linking things. I didn't want to.
Yeah, the bot would have bopped you if you tried.
Yeah. So I just want really quick, anyone does want to learn this game, there's a lot of resources involved. It's a pretty cool game. I do want to appreciate you all for checking us out. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, thanks once again for being on. I do just want to quickly remind people that Disability Month submissions are open. If you do ! Disability Month in chat, there's a link there to submit if you'd like to be participating in that. And besides that, just once again, thank you everybody who tuned in. Hotfix is funded in part thanks to subscriptions and bits. So we'd appreciate it if you'd consider subscribing to support future broadcasts. But we are going to send you on over to Drunk Wario. Just going to raid over that way. So why don't you follow that way, give them some energy, and we'll see you guys next time.